Hi, everybody. Oh my God, microphone. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Oh my God. Unprepared. Totally unprepared. Unprofessional, isn't it? Oh my God. Here we go. Oh, we're live. Yes. This is life. This is life. This is just life. This is sometimes life is just like that. And that's what it is. Hi and welcome to this week's weekly forecast for with I Ching. How to raise your energies with I Ching. That's what we're looking at today. And not just today, every Sunday. Every Sunday. That's totally cool. And I love it. So every Sunday, Brisbane 6:15, New Zealand 8:15, 10:15 in the morning in Germany, and in the Americas it's late at night, so you will probably have me for breakfast. I'm just guessing. So what we are doing here is we look into the energies of the year, the month, and then every single day of this week. Because if we know what's coming, we're so more likely to actually adapt to what is, to respect what is coming, to be more aware and not just reacting to whatever stands in the way, right? And if you're watching this on YouTube, there are chapters down here in the notes, so you can come back every day on the day and listen to what I said. That I think that's fantastic, because I said I started doing these videos and then I was sitting here Monday morning. What was the energy today? Wouldn't it be great to just go, give me Monday? So the chapters will do that. So yes, wonderful. So how do we raise our energies? Let's look into what the I Ching has to say. And we're going to start, just like every time, we're going to start with the year energy. But I make it really short because we've done this now a few times already. So you can always look into the older ones. The year energy from an I Ching perspective is 38 opposition, polarizing, diversion. There are so many names for it. It's really interesting. And like I said every time, it's really, this is what it is, isn't it? It's what we are experiencing this year very extremely, this polarizing, the opposition, the division even. But interestingly, one of the words that's also together with the number 38 I Ching is integrity. So it is about, in these times of polarizing and division, how can you keep your integrity? And I just love that this is what has been came together with it. And for this week, you will see that this has also another meaning, but more about that later on. So it's about how to tolerate the otherness of the counterpart in conflicting times and still stay true to yourself. And we are coming back to that later, by the way. The month energy is the next energy we're looking at. And the month energy is 34, great strength. So, and I said that last week and the week before, that 34 means also the great power and the great boldness. It's about how to stay in power and strength to serve the greater good with sincerity and honesty. And that's what I've always emphasized over the last weeks, that this great strength and the power and the boldness leads to success when it is for the greater good. That is the most important way to use your power, to use your strength for the greater good and with sincerity and honesty. And if that would happen more often, I think this planet would be a better place. Don't you think so as well? So yeah, let's listen to the I Ching. Let's listen more to the I Ching, how we behave, and how and what's up for the day and for at the moment for the sceneries. You know, it's like really, what do we if we don't know what to do, we just look into the I Ching and say, hey, what's going on this week? What's going on today? And I had that last week. Let me just have a look in my notes. It actually happened to me. I know if you saw last week, what I told you is that on the Thursday was heaven. Number one, I Ching number one, heaven. And I was sitting here and I just couldn't get anything working. And I thought, oh my God, it's number one, heaven. Today is the day to take action. Today is the day to really bring things to life, to Thursday, exactly, to life and go into action. I've done all the work the days before. Today is the day to go into action. And I just couldn't, for some reason, I just wasn't there. I wasn't present. I was like, oh my God. And of course, as we humans do, I started saying, oh my God, I can't even do that. I need to, today's the day for action. And I really want to do this. I've planned this. I've done everything to come to this day and do it. What did I do next? I looked at the hours. So I looked at the good hours and I found, because I've already had missed the consistency hours with Noble Man Rising, because I've been in a meeting on those hours. I couldn't use them. So I looked at, okay, so the next hour is not that good. But then there were some hours. Number 7, the officer, or the army is also called. And this is about discipline and about the goal. Our inner discipline can then work on the outside to get towards the goal. So what I did then was, okay, I didn't do anything before these hours. I just said, okay, whatever needs to be done, I'm going to do that, but I can't get this done what I wanted to for my business. And then when the hour was there, number 7 officer, or also called the army, I thought, okay, now discipline. Now I sit down for 2 hours, sitting down and doing it. And I did it. I did get it done. So this is how I use the I Ching and how you can use the I Ching. You really use the energy of the days, the month, the year. And if you need to, and if you have a Tong Shu, or you just ask me on the day, oh my God, you said it's a good day and I really can't use it. I don't feel like it, blah, 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 blah. What time? So I can look into my Tong Shu and tell you, you know what, focus on those 2 hours. Or I look into it and say, you know what, today's not your day. Tomorrow are really good hours these days. Do it tomorrow. So this is how I want you to use it as well. And you know, it's like when I say this is a good day, generally speaking, but personally, maybe there is something in the way why this day is not that good for you. But then you can use the other energies. And that is what I want you to start realizing. There's always something good to take from it. To focus on what is working, to focus on what is present. Okay, good. And so we're starting with a Sunday because, like I said, for the Americas, it's not yet Sunday or very early, and Germany as well. So I'm always doing Sunday until Sunday, so everybody's covered because you take your local time where you are. Okay. So the Sunday today, we're having the number 31 influence. Yes. So how alignment and empathy create a strong influence on people, events, and things. So let's have a look what the big book says. Because what is happening here is really the influence has the lake on top and the mountain underneath. And if you listened to me last week, for instance, I already said mountain always means something about being still. Mountain always means going inwards. So if you've got the lake on top, which is the joyous, which is, all of these soft qualities. And underneath you have a mountain, which is about stillness. So you have the underneath, the lower trigram is about persistence, is about quiet influence. So, and the upper one is about, and that is about cheerfulness, joyfulness, and these things. So that persistence and that influence, it's influencing the joyous, influencing the softness, the cheerfulness. And that's what this sign is about. And that's why it's called influence, or also called wooing. But the thing is, the wooing and the influence, it's not about, again, we're talking soft, right? You see how there's a softness in this one with the lake? So the wooing or the influence should be in a soft way, and the mountain underneath with a stillness. So with clarity inside. And how do you practice a wooing or an influence in a soft way? It is that the masculine pin principle, the yang principle, it seizes the initiative. That's what the yang is about. It seizes the initiative, but it places itself below the feminine principle, the yin principle. So it does not dominate the yin principle. This is not what wooing or influence is about, and it shouldn't be, and it is not. Okay, so the yang principle within the wooing, within the influence, starts acting, but not by overpowering the yin. This is not successful. It is successful if the yang principle, the wooing one, is really placing itself below the yin principle to lift it up together. Okay? Does that make sense to you? I hope it does, because seriously, it does to me. If the weak element is above and the strong one is below, then they attract each other. And then they can feel how they can strengthen each other. And this is how influence happens when yin and yang come together and work together, complementing each other, being together. So, and the perseverance, which is within the mountain that is below, this is the difference between seduction and courtship, in wooing as well as in influencing. You could say manipulating. If you keep doing the work, then there's a huge difference, as if you just today here, tomorrow there. There's no thunder in the sign, there's no fire in the sign. So really, if your mind is humble and free, then you can remain on accepting good advice. So if the mind is clear, if it is humble, then you receive, and you can also practice the best advice. And that is what it means, that the yang, the active, does not dominate the yin. The stillness is within the yang. We know that the yin is in the yang and the yang is in the yin, right? Okay. So if somebody gives you the impression that they know everything best and always yang and always acting, doing this, doing that, would you like to keep on listening to that person, or would you like to keep on counseling that person? No, probably you wouldn't. So it's that humbleness and that clarity and that inner stillness that brings the yang principle to success, by acting out of the clarity and the stillness. That is the Sunday today. So acting out of clarity and humbleness. This is successful, and this is raising your energy. Okay, let's have a look what's happening on the Monday. How can we raise our energies on the Monday? The Monday is the number 15, modesty or humility. We've got earth on top and mountain underneath. So again, we've got mountain underneath, which means there is a stillness. There is a humbleness in this hexagram from the 2 trigrams. So, and the earth, the upper principle, that is, let me look what I've said about that one. Hey, how to reduce the extremes by adjusting weakness and strength. So the earth on top is the fullness and the creativity, the receptiveness. And the mountain underneath is keeping still. So you've got 2 different principles within one, and extremes. So it's about reducing the extremes. So tomorrow, Monday, from my perspective, it's all about reducing the extremes. So, and that's what nature does in itself. The moon, when it's full, starts to begin to wane. And when it's empty of light, it starts to waxing again. So it's yin and the yang again the whole day. All of these principles. Once it's in shape, once it's in full shape, it starts to reduce itself. And once it's reduced, it starts growing again. So the earth and the mountain, in its as much as they are within each other, they complement each other again as well. So you could also call it humility, modesty, and I would like to read apart from that, because it's just not I don't want to read just a bit of it, but I think these 2 sentences are just amazing. But man has it in his power to shape his fate. When I say man, I mean people. They mean people. It's not about male or female principle, by the way. Has it in his power to shape his fate according to his behavior, exposes him to the influence of benevolent or of destructive forces. When a man holds a high position and is nevertheless modest, he shines with the light of wisdom. If he is in a lowly position and is modest, he cannot be passed by. Thus, the superior man can carry out his work to the end without boasting of what he has achieved. And that's the thing. Doing your work, doing what you can, contributing to community. And you don't need to boast about what you've done. You don't need to tell everybody, oh, have you seen I finished that? Have you seen it? No, that's not what it's about. So really being modest and reducing extremes by adjusting weakness and strength. Because you wouldn't boast about, oh, I've done this wrong. Oh, some of us do. Damn it. So you shouldn't do that either. Oh, I've done wrong. I'm so bad. I'm a victim. I'm, all of these things. No. Adjusting to what is. Okay. How do we raise our energies on the Tuesday? On the Tuesday, we've got number 20, observation. Contemplation. It does also mean contemplation, by the way. So the interesting thing about the number 20, contemplation or observation, is that it also means view, if it's pronounced just a little bit different. And that I find really interesting. So the picture that we get here is like a tower. It's a tower with a view into the country, but it also means that this tower can be seen from everywhere. So it's an exposed position that it has. It's wind on top and earth underneath. So something soft on top and receptive underneath. So this landmark, the tower, can be seen from miles around. And you can see when you are on that tower. So it's about having the heaven above and the people below, but not dividing them, and contemplating about the challenge and how to organize your life and still stay connected, see the greater picture. So if you are in the tower, on top of the tower, you can see everything. You have the greater picture, but you may be disconnected from the earth. So it's about staying connected to the earth while having still the bigger picture. And this is what you need to contemplate about on that Tuesday if you want to raise your energy. Sorting out what can stay, what needs to go, and really being in command of your view, of your greater picture of your life, being in command of it. But of course, you are exposing yourself, and you need to expose yourself if you want to change something in your life. You need to tell people that you're changing something in your life. You need to communicate. You need to act different if you want to change something in your life. So it is a day of contemplation. It's a day of going inwards. It's a day of having a look at the bigger picture and sorting out what is happening and what is not happening, and organizing your life. And still staying connected. Not just having the view, seeing the greater picture, and like, I'm going to do this, but you need to stay connected to the earth. Beautiful. Okay. And then if we're doing that, we're going into the Wednesday. And what we're having on the Wednesday are two things. Number one, on the Wednesday, we're changing from 34 great strength, month energy, to 32 consistency. So we're changing from 34 to 32, and that makes a difference because the 34, remember, how to stay in power and strength to serve the greater good with sincerity. That energy changes for the next month to come to 32 consistency, perseverance. Okay, so we've got a thunder on top of the wind. So, and that whole month has the energy of decluttering. And decluttering brings growth. So if you've done the tower or the observation number 20 yesterday right, you will see that change of energy from the great strength into the consistency. And you will know what you need to reduce, what you need to remove, what you want to change, declutter, what you bring into your life, because this is the month's energy. Changing on the 5th of June, about decluttering the whole next month. Oh my God, let's do that. So So, and I will probably say more about the month energy in the next week's live forecast. So it's about sizing and merging what to keep, what to let go, and that in a consistent way, not just in one day, tuck, 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 tuck. Stay on the path. Give yourself the time so that you know you're really giving away what you really don't need anymore, and you're keeping what you really need. That's the motto for the whole next month. But the day, let's go to the day, the Wednesday, how to raise your energy on that Wednesday. It's 42 increasing. And I find it really funny that it's on the same day, like with the change, that once you declutter, once you throw stuff out, it's going to be increasing. Everything's increasing. So what does increasing mean? Everything's increasing. The energy is increasing. And it's about multiplying your success. And how do we multiply our success the best? We multiply our success the best by willingly sharing it with others. So it's a day of sharing. So the Wednesday, everything sharing will bring you energy. So think about what you want to share. Maybe you want to share a message. Maybe you want to share a gift. Maybe you want to share, I don't know. You will find something that you can share on the Wednesday. Wednesday is a day how you increase your success by sharing. And whatever your business is like, whatever your life looks like, whatever your family looks like, think about it, how you can be more successful by sharing. And there are so many options how you can do that. And the really underneath, the motto underneath is really, it's about how to serve. And you will be more successful if you can answer the question, how can I serve? You will be so much more successful. Oh, by the way, yes, I have different glasses today. Yes, true. And that is because I want to test it, because with the orange glasses, the light reflects so strongly. So I really I thought I'm going to have a look whether that makes a difference. And I have a feeling it does. It's not so glaring, but you tell me which one you like better. I don't mind. Yes, increasing. So the rule is the rule really is, how can I serve? And it's also about in a way, it's about sacrificing when you're on top. So we've got in this one, we've got wind, the gentle on top, and thunder, the arousing underneath. So those in power, or those in the abundance, or those in who are ruling, if they start sacrificing, they will bring joy to the people and gratitude to the people below. If there is such a thing as above and below, but we know there is. So, and that is the thing with the increasing. This is how you really multiply your success, by sharing it. And that's what it means. That if you feel you are above, if you feel you have more, if you feel you can contribute and help others, this will then start having creating a feel of joy and gratitude. And do that, because the world is a much better place with more joy and more gratitude. So, and of course, increasing is not never ending. So use it while it's there. If you've got it, use it while it's there. Yeah. So it's about strengthening each other. And this is how we can strengthen the success. How can we raise our energy on the Thursday? Thursday is 36, darkening of the light or wounding of the bright. And it's exactly what it says. There will be a little bit of a downturn on the Thursday. There will be a little bit more going into the inside. But it is about knowing that this is what's happening on the day. I mean, not every day can be multiple bright days. Sometimes there are days that are a little bit of a downer. But if you know that this day might have a little bit of a wounding of the bright in itself, then you're not so shaken, because you are expecting it. You know that not everything may go to plan on that day. And you say, oh, okay, that's what the light is about. This is what this is about. So how can you survive such a day? How can you maintain the light if there's a wounding of the bright on the outside? Yeah, of course, on the inside. So it is about, if there's a day that is not that bright, if there's some stuff happening on the day that you don't like that much, you preserve the light inside. So it's about your joyousness, it's about your happiness, and that then can also reflect to the outside. Just think about it. If there's a really dark day and you have a candle, then you bring the light to others as well, don't you? So how can we survive a day of the dimming light, or a month, or a year? By preserving our inner light and letting others have a look at it. Like on the day before, with the sharing the success, it's the same principle. Same principle. You can overcome the greatest adversities if you start sharing your success, if you start sharing your light. And that's what should happen on that Thursday. Since I mucked up a few days, was it the last week or the week before? I'm really careful which day I'm going to say. So that's the Thursday. Really share your light on the Thursday. That will be amazing, because sometimes there are circumstances where you actually have to hide your light. And sometimes there are circumstances when you can show it, but you have to know the difference. When is it time to show it? When is it time to hide it? And in times of darkness, it is, of course, sometimes better to hide it. And then decide, who are you going to share it with? Who are you going to let into your light? Who are you going to do? This is, yeah, what it is. Friday. How do we raise our energy on the Friday? Friday has the edging number 13, fellowship with men, not the fellowship of the rings, heaven on top and fire underneath. So it's the nature of the fire to flame up to the heaven. So it's a very natural process that we're looking at here. And it's based upon a concern that this is a universal thing, that people want to live in a fellowship. But on goals of humanity. But of course, in the fellowship, what you need is a leader that carries the light. So if you have a feeling that in the fellowship, the leader in the fellowship is not in the light, what are you going to do? Same thing as the day before and the day before that. If you have a feeling that the leader has not clarity and inspiring aims and the strength to carry it out, sometimes this is then the time where you need to hide your light. But the strength is there. The strength is there. How to protect one's own core through acceptance when one's own development is blocked. If you have a feeling on the Friday that your own development is blocked, then just ask the question whether the leadership that you have, yours or the one above you, whether you are truly within that clarity and whether they are inspiring. Maybe that is why you feel stuck. So on the Friday, if you feel that you are stuck, if you feel there is a difficult task and you're not getting anywhere, then maybe look at the leadership. But like on the day before, you cannot boast about it. You should not do that much about it. Because if a fellowship is to lead to order, they must be organized within diversity. And unfortunately, that's very often not happening on that level. But the question is, how much can we do about it? So it's about learning how much can we do about it and how much just can't we. So we just stay still and not do nothing, but there are times when you can do something. Just remember then those days. And there are times when you can't. Okay. So on the Friday, maybe not that much of an action, more of an observation day. Yeah, looks good. Saturday, 8th of June, 54, marrying Maiden. Not one of my favorites. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a lesson I have to learn. It's what you heard me talk about this before. This definitely is a lesson that I have to learn in this life, because the 54 is the marrying maiden. And that comes a little bit towards what the influence the 31 was about. So the man leads and the maiden follows in gladness. So this is a metaphor again. So some energy is leading and someone is following in gladness. So this sign shows a young girl following an older man who marries her. So that can also be a metaphor for workplace or for anything else, sport, coaching, anything like that. So, but within that following of the marrying maiden, you have to act with special caution, and you have to reserve, because you need to observe, is this good for me? Is it really good for me? And how much can I choose the situation? How much can I do in this situation? So on that day, just really look, who are you actually following? Is it voluntarily? Because all human relationships should be voluntarily. I hope we have on the same page with that one, but that's okay. So this sign is a little bit of a challenge for me, because personally, or just me on my personal level, because it's about following voluntarily, and I just like to observe and to know whether it's good for me and everybody involved. But it is about observing and looking, because it could be benevolent, and then that's good to be with that one. And then we're having the Sunday, the Sunday, and on the Sunday we're having, that's why I said before, we're coming back to that, 38 again. The energy of the year, 38, opposition, division, polarizing. So on the Sunday, we will experience that energy of polarizing and diversion. And I'm just having a looking if there's an hour. No, the hour is not on that. That's good. So on that day, we're having the same energy as the month. So it will be a bit more intense even on the Sunday, the division, the polarizing, the opposition. So if you have a family event on that day, maybe be a bit more cautious, a bit more observant, and not so forthright. There will be something for next Sunday. And whatever's happening on the Sunday, be aware that there could be a division or a polarizing, anything like that. And that again comes to the other word that I have with the 38, and that's integrity. You stay with your integrity within the division, within the polarizing. Your integrity is asked. And your integrity means also what we had before with the dimming of the light. Sometimes it's time to shine the light. Sometimes it's time to hide the light. And that's especially within a 38 construction with the polarizing. I think that's really a good thing to do this year, to be absolutely sure who do I want to share my light with, who needs that light. And that can be someone who's on the other side of the spectrum, who is has a different opinion than I am. I'm not saying that you should not shine the light and share the light with, not at all. The contrary. If you remember last week, we had a sign, the best way to conquer the evil, I think, is to strengthen the good, if there's such a good thing as good and evil. So if you regard something as evil, this is very old dualistic connotation, I know. So if something other, let's just say something other, something that is different, not evil and good, but something that is different. And by shining your light, you might just, you share, maybe you find you're sharing things. Maybe you find you are not so as far apart as you think you are. And that is an interesting position to be in. So the flame burning upward, and that's the picture, the flame on top, the lake underneath, the flame burning upward, the lake goes downward. And that's where the contrast and the polarizing come from. And this is the year we're living in, 38. And this is the month, the day we're having next week, Sunday. So there will be a stronger energy like that. And this is also the next thing, what I said before. If we're living in the polarizing, there's nothing big that we can do. It's the small things we can do. Like Mother Teresa said, we can't do big things in this world. We can do small things with big love. And that's what we need to do. Wherever we are in this polarizing discussion, we need to share the light and the love and to come to terms and together. But we can't do big look at the small, whatever you can do in the small, in your closest circle with your friends, your family, and so on. That is what we should look at this year and next Sunday as well, because it's I Ching number 38 next Sunday, which is about the world that we're living at the moment, that is in opposition, in polarizing, and is questioning nearly everybody's integrity, isn't it? So if you like what you've seen here, then tell your friends, like it, share it, comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know what else you want to know. If there's something you want me to go deeper on, not a problem at all. I am here on Sundays. I'm doing the I Ching live. And again, if you're on YouTube, there are chapters underneath, so you can skip into the day that you want to. And I will see you again next Sunday here with another live forecast for the energies of the week. Bye.